No matter how good your defense is, your man coverage will fail if you don't know the best plays to call, the proper ways to shade, or how to generate pressure. So in today's video, I'm going to do a deep dive into how to play elite man coverage defense. Now, there's essentially 3 different types of man coverage that you can blitz from. Each different type of man coverage has different shading rules and different ways to bring pressure. So the first type is cover 1. Cover 1 man is going to basically have everybody in man coverage with one safety over the top, generally in the middle of the field like this. Then you're going to have cover 2 man. Cover 2 man is going to have everybody in man coverage, but this time you're going to have 2 safeties over the top. Generally, each safety will be in a deep half. Finally, you're going to have cover 0. Cover 0 is the most risky, where you have literally everybody in man coverage with no safeties over the top, hence cover 0. So in this video, I'm going to focus on cover 0 and cover 2 man. If you would like to see the same info on cover 1, let me know in the comments and we can make another video. And if you want more content like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and drop me a like on the video. So we're going to start with cover 0. Remember, cover 0 is going to be the most aggressive option. We're going to look at the 3 for odd. Play is going to be pinch bug 0. You want to make sure you turn your auto flip off when running this. Now, I'm going to also break down the best abilities to use with these types of defenses. So, in general, you're going to want to look for blanket coverage DBs and some quick jump edge rushers. Now, let me go over the way to shade cover 0 first. So in cover 0, there's a few big no-nos. First of all, never press your coverage and never shade your coverage underneath, okay? The reason why you never want to shade your coverage underneath or even press them is because you have no safeties over the top here. So if we do either, especially shading our coverage underneath when they're backed up, you're going to get the DBs running down aggressively at the line, and now if they run a deep route like a fade, I mean, this is probably going to be a free touchdown, and we just don't want that. So when in cover 0, you only really want to shade your coverage inside or out. Now, if you're not familiar to bring up your shading, you hit triangle or Y, and then you see you have over top, underneath, inside or out on the right stick. Now, if you're getting beat by routes over the middle, shade inside. If you're getting beat by routes to the outside, shade outside. It's really that simple. Now, as far as bringing pressure, this is one of the easiest blitzes to set up in the game. You really just use the linebacker that is manned up to the running back. You'll notice the other inside linebacker that is blitzing, he creeps forward. This allows us to get pressure really no matter what. The key here is where you position your user. You'll see that where I have him now, you get those 3 circles over his head. This means the O-line is targeting him. However, if I back too far up, you'll see those circles, they disappear. We don't want this. So make sure you're close up enough to the line that they're targeting you. These edge rushers should be fast, preferably have quick jumps. Now, if they send the running back out, that's your user. Responsibility, just go guard him, okay? It's really that simple. You'll get instant pressure. They're going to get sacked or have to force a quick read. If they block him, it's really no different, only because our user responsibility is the running back. And once he's blocked, we just take like a step forward, which makes the running back come up, and then we drop back over the middle of the field. We get the instant pressure, and the running back is coming up because he thinks we're blitzing when we're not. So we don't actually blitz. We just take a step forward, then we drop back. If he goes out, we just go guard him. It's instant pressure either way. Now, especially if you have quick jumps and they're not blocking the running back a lot or they don't know how to pick this up, you don't even need to blitz both sides. You could put potentially one side in zone, depending upon what routes they're hitting you with. That's completely up to you, but you have options here. So the biggest advantage of these blitzes is they're hard to block, but you're kind of limited on your shading. So if you want better coverage and more shading, that's when you go to cover 2 man type blitzes, because in cover 2 man, we're only going to really blitz 3 or 4. In cover 0, we were blitzing 6. So for cover 2 man, I like the dime 2-3 odd, and the play we're going to run is the cover 2 man, and we're going to flip it at the play call screen So once again, make sure in your coaching adjustments, your auto flip is turned off. Now, with these types of blitzes, your biggest advantage is you can shade your coverage however you want. Make sure in this formation you sub in fast sub linebackers. They can be safeties, but you really want the blanket coverages as your DBs for this blitz. That is big, okay? The blanket coverages are really, really good. Now, what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you two different ways to get pressure, two different blitzing techniques that rush 3 or 4. Now, as far as your shading goes, as I said, you can shade any way you want. So the first thing I always do is I press my coverage by hitting triangle or Y and down on the left stick. You'll see the DBs slightly change their position. They're just going to get in better position to actually get press animations. Then I'm going to shade my coverage underneath by hitting triangle or Y and then down on the right stick, okay? When you shade your coverage underneath, you're getting more aggressive trail technique. You're going to get more picks, and we can actually do this because we have the safeties over the top in our deep zones. Now we're not worried about getting beat over the top. So in a situation like this, I'm not going to set up the blitz yet. I just want to show you the coverage is more aggressive. Notice how the coverage is more aggressive. They're getting better jams. They're actually playing underneath, and I can just free roam the middle, and you're going to have good coverage. But as I mentioned earlier in the video, no matter how good your coverage is, if you don't get pressure, eventually somebody's going to get open. So you also need to know how to get pressure. Now, the other thing about this is you can shade your coverage twice. So say that they were running slants like they just did there. First, press your coverage and shade underneath. But then you can also shade your coverage inside or out in addition to underneath. So say you're getting beat by slants, shade your coverage to the inside by hitting triangle Y and then left on the right stick. Outside would be to the right on the right stick or to the right on the right stick. So here we go. We're going to bring a blitz. If you want to get better at college football 25 and win more games, check out my college football VIP membership on sportsgamerz.com. Put the link to order in the comments and the description. You will get access to all the content I release for college football all year long, including the best offense in the game, the best defense in the game, my secret A-gap blitzes, my rollout glitch, my run defense, and my pass defense, and much more. Let's dominate together, boys. Now, the first blitz technique I'm going to go over is known as a disengaged blitz. This is essentially going to allow the linebacker we're not using to come free up the middle. To set this up, all you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and hit right on the D-pad and then down on the right stick to blitz off your linebackers. And then you take the one you're using and you stand them over this guard on the left. I want to actually put myself in a hook zone. I can do that by just doing the individual playmakers. And the reason why I do this is so I can stick switch if I need to. At this snap, you're simply going to run into this guard for a split second, then drop back over the middle. We just touch him. We don't actually stay engaged blitzing because we want to be able to get over the middle or even stick switch. This allows the linebacker behind us to come free for the sack. You see how I disengage into coverage? Now, the biggest weakness here was the running back was unguarded, but we can easily fix this. So we're going to do the same setup, do our same shading. Remember, we can shade underneath, then inside or out, any way we want, because the safeties are over the top. But we need to man the running back up, so if he goes out, he's not wide open. This is easy to do. You simply hit left on the D-pad twice. This brings up the D-line adjustments. So you see the icons of your D-line. Hit the icon of the one on the running back side. That's X. Man coverage is up on the right stick. Running back's icon is R1. Now, you guys can see, if he goes out, no problem, because that guy's manned up. And the blitz still works the same. We'll still get in. We're only rushing 3 guys. Pretty crazy, right? So that is the first technique. The second technique, which you can still use all of your shading principles, is known as a loop blitz. Loop blitzes are when you have a blitzer coming from one side, looping through the other gap. Now, to do a loop blitz out of this, you need to drag your blitzer on the right to the left and stack him right behind this other linebacker slightly to the left. You can then user this linebacker man to the running back. If he goes out, guard him. If not, free roam. What you will notice with these blitzes is when you drag that linebacker across, he's going to loop in untouched. Now, between the two, I would say the disengage blitz is a bit better because it is harder to block and there's just less ways to deal with it. It's quicker pressure, but both are good. Now, one last thing I often have people ask me is, well, what if I shade my coverage underneath and inside, but then, they have one player that they put on a corner route. So I went over this in more detail in the first video I did dealing with man coverage, but if you want, you can shade your coverage globally, which means it affects all of your defenders, underneath and inside or outside, but then you also can shade one player individually. So say everybody's running slants, but then one player is running a corner route. Well, we shaded inside for the slants, but for the corner route, we can individually shade that guy. To do that, you hit triangle or Y, but then you pull up the individual menu by hitting the button for individual. Then you hit the icon of the player running the out-breaking route you want to shade. Let's say that's a tight end, that's X. And then like here, if he was running a corner route, we'd want to shade him to the right because the corner route will be going right? So that's how you do it. And then you can still run the blitz the same way. It still gets pressure. And yeah, you can still man the guy up, shade however you want. Otherwise,